friends, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to learn about securing Web API using JWT token in C#.NET framework. Okay, let's begin. So, in this tutorial, our goal is to secure data transmission between two endpoints. JWT is a way to achieve. JSON Web Token consists of three parts separated by dot. As you can see in the diagram, we have header, payload, and signature. Once you generate the JWT token, it is separated by dot. As you can see here, we have a JWT token. Okay, to achieve that, okay, we are going to see how this request is happening between the browser and the server. Okay, so from the diagram you can see the user enter his credentials and it requests to the server. The server generates a JWT with a secret and return back to the browser. Then we send the JWT on the authorization, and from the server side it checks the JWT signature, get the user information from JWT, and responds back to the client. So this is a process which happens when we authenticate with JWT token. Now let's do the coding. To start with, just create a new project and you can give the name of your solution as per yourself. However, I've given the name as JWT, right? And selected the template as ASP.NET Web Application.NET Framework. Next step is to select the template. So here I'm selecting Web API and I'm not selecting any authentication, just for simplicity purpose. Okay, so this is how our solutions look like. And then the first thing we need to do is install the Nuget package that will help to handle tasks related to JWT Web API. Okay, so go to Tools, Nuget Package Manager, and manage Nuget package for solution. And the next thing is we have to search for System.IdentityModel.Tokens.Jwt. Once you find it, select it and select the latest version of it and install it straight away. Right. Now, in this step, we need to add a class in our solution that will take care about incoming HTTP request and validate the token. So in order to do this, we are going to create this class at root level that extends DelegatingHandler, and we need to override SendAsync method. So basically what we are doing is we are going to write a custom handler, and through that we are going to write logic and we are going to validate token. Okay, so in our case I'm just giving the class name as Validate TokenHandler.cs. So add a class and give Validate TokenHandler.cs name, or you can specify any name you like. Alright, once you create the class, just simply extend the DelegatingHandler, as we are going to create a custom handler class. So we need to extend it, and here we are trying to retrieve token. We have a written logic about it. Alright, and then we have to override the SendAsync method. In here we are going to check the token, we are going to verify it, and then we are going to return the request back. Okay, so this is the logic written here for SendAsync. So if you want to just take a note, you can write it down from here. You can just take a note of it. So we created our own class derived from the delegation handler class, and we override SendAsync method to intercept HTTP request and validate the JWT. Okay. Now, the next thing is to generate a JWT token. The previous class which we have written is to verify the token, but now we are going to write a logic for JWT token. So for that, I have created two classes in model. One is userRequest.cs and another is userResponse.cs. So from userRequest class, we are going to provide username and password through the request, and in response, we are going to get response for userResponse class. So create token method will generate a token, and authenticate method will receive an HTTP request and validate the username and password. If they are valid, we send back the token. Okay, so this create token method we are going to write in a controller called generate JWT token controller. Okay, this JWT token controller is basically going to authenticate and create a token for us. So please note down and write down the logic which we are using here. So in generate WT token, we have authenticate method, which is a post method, and in this method, in create token, we are simply creating the token. So these are the parameters, and for the token, we have token handler, okay, issuer, audience, subject, not before, expired, signing credentials. Like in the beginning, we have said that JWT token consists of three parts, which is header, payload, and signature. Okay, so that's all we are defining here, and finally we are returning back the token string. Okay, so once you complete your custom handler class, once you are finished with writing the logic for JWT token controller, then we need to register our message handler class in WebApiConfig.cs. So go to WebApiConfig.cs, go to register method, and we have to register our custom handler class like this: config.messagehandler.add, and under the brackets new validate token handler, our class name. Right. The next thing is, it's time to secure our endpoints. Let's decorate our values controller with Authorize attribute. Okay, so to check our JWT is working or not, we have to secure our controller, or in other words endpoints, and we have to add authorize decorate our controller like this. So what it results is, it will check for the JWT token, and if user is not providing the JWT token while HTTP request, we are going to return an error message, or else we are going to provide the return value for the appropriate action. So to test it, there are so many tools available like Fiddler, there is a REST API client, Postman. There's so many tools to test the web API. So in our case, we are going to use Postman. So once you run the application, if you try to access this link, whatever the port number your application generates, okay, so since we have decorated our controller with authorize attribute, okay, so it is checking whether we have passed any JWT token with it. So we are doing a get request here, and so far we have not passed any JWT token. So In return, in response, we are getting a message that authorization has been denied for this request, and which is obvious. We know the reason, that we have not added yet the JWT token to it. Now, in order to make a GET request, we are now required to have a token. To generate a token, we need to do a POST request providing a JSON data and set the content application value as JSON and then request on the following URL. So this is our URL API, and this is the generate JWT token controller through which we are going to generate JWT token. As you can see, we are using post request, and in the body select raw and application type is JSON, and we are providing username and password. Once you send it for the post request, it will generate a JWT token, which we can see here. Okay, the next step is use this token. Okay, now after generating token, we will try to fetch the record from values controller using JWT token from the following URL. Again, we are doing a GET request. We are providing the URL, okay, and authorization. We have selected authorization, and we have selected type as bearer token, and within the token we have specified the JWT token. All right. Once you made a send request, so now we are getting a result for the values controller. Remember, previously we got this message as message authorization has been denied. However, once we have supplied the JWT token, we got the result. So as you can see, we have added the JWT token in a header. Do notice syntax bearer token. We access our secure resource using JWT. It is valid for about of time we said when we generated it. If we tamper with it, unauthorized code is returned. So that's it, folks. Thank you so much, and hopefully this will help you to implement JWT token for your solution. Thank you so much.